Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I've got a shooting tutorial for you, and this time we're working on the half volley.
Oh yeah, everybody now.
So before we get into the step-by-step tutorial, I just want to say a huge thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring yet another video on the channel. So OneFootball is a free football app that you can download onto your smart device that allows you to stay current with world football news happening all around the globe, including transfer news, match fixtures, results, anything you can imagine in the world of football. Is going to allow you to stay ahead of the game. And one of my favorite features about the app is that even if you're traveling a lot and not able to watch the matches live, it still allows you to stay up to date minute by minute with each match so that you never miss a piece of action. You almost get that live experience still when you're on the move. But as I said, thanks so much to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. But without further ado, let's get into the step-by-step tutorial. So the first thing we need to do is keep our eyes on the ball at all times, because not only is the ball moving, but it's bouncing as well. So we really need to focus on that part of the ball we're going to be striking so that we get it clean. If you take your eyes off the ball, even for a split second, you're probably not going to hit the ball where you want it to, and it's going to shank, it's going to go over the bar. It's not going to have the end result that you want. So for the run-up, I believe it's better to have longer strides. That's going to allow you to generate more momentum so that you can put more power behind the strike. So it's all about timing. I like to take about 3 or 4 steps in between striking the ball. So if we're hitting it in front of us or it's coming from the side, I like to really start my run up early so that I'm getting some momentum behind the ball. So if it's bouncing, I like to take 1, 2, 3, and usually on the 3rd or 4th step, that's when I'm going to be striking the ball. So the next step is your planting foot after you've performed the run-up. So with every shooting technique, we always point our planting foot towards our target. That's going to improve our accuracy, but especially with the half volley, because the ball is moving and bouncing, we really need to get that area of the ball that we want to be striking. Otherwise, it's just not going to be accurate. So even if the ball's coming in from the right-hand side, from the left-hand side, you have to have the ability to rotate that planting foot and point at your target. It's coming in from the side here and I'm pointing in that direction. It's going to be hard for me to twist and get the accuracy that I want. Chances are I'm going to get underneath the ball, I'm going to slice it. It's not going to have the results I want. So even if it's coming in from the side, before I'm about to strike that ball, I need to rotate my planting foot towards my target so that when I strike through the ball, my hips are going in the same direction and the ball is going to go towards the target. Also with that planting foot, you need to be able to give yourself some stability and some balance. This is going to help you generate both power and accuracy. So when you're planting that foot, having a slight bend in that knee and allowing you to contract those quadricep muscles, that's going to give you the stability that you need. So we're not coming in with a locked leg like this. That's going to get underneath the ball and we're probably going to sky it. You want to have a slight bend in the knee. So you really want to contract those muscles as we plant it down so that we have a good, stable base, so that we're balanced and we'll get more accuracy in the shot. Also, to aid your balance, you want to extend that arm a little bit. This is just going to distribute the weight a bit more evenly on the body and also tighten that core. If you have a good strong core, everything's going to stay stable. You're a lot more rock solid when you tighten the core. These couple of things are going to generate even more power and also improve your accuracy. Now the tip I'm about to share with you is the most important tip. This has massively helped me with my half volleys and I know it's going to help you with yours. Not a lot of people know this, but when you actually perform the half volley, you're trying to get your body in a position that mimics the technique of a normal shot as much as possible. So the key is to hit the ball as low to the ground as possible. So you're really trying to strike that ball immediately after it's bounced. You don't want to be letting it bounce and then coming onto it trying to hit it. It's almost simultaneously just as the ball hits the ground. As soon as you hear that thud of it hitting the ground, you should be following through that ball. This is because when you actually hit the ball from that low, you're pretty much using the same technique that you would for a shot off the ground. And this is something you've rehearsed for many years, so you're going to be able to perform it a lot cleaner, get more accuracy, more power. It's going to be a lot more effective shot. So make sure you're hitting that ball immediately as the ball's bouncing. So the area of the foot we want to be using to strike the ball is right on top of the foot here. So where the laces are, there's a nice big dense bone. That's going to give you a nice clean strike behind the ball. You're going to be able to generate a lot of power. The same area of the foot you would use for a standard volley, and also the area of the ball you want to be striking is right through the center of that ball. This you can play around with a little bit. If you strike straight through the center of the ball, sometimes it might have a little bit of a knuckle effect, or it might have a bit of top spin, depending on how you strike it. I like to strike down on the ball, so as I make contact with the ball with the foot, straight through the center, I then chop my foot downwards. That generates a bit of backspin so that the ball stays low for a second and then it rises at the last second. It's very difficult for the goalkeepers to judge because they're setting themselves in front of that ball, and then when it rises at the last second, it's really unpredictable. Also, when you're striking the ball, you want to really flex that foot. It's called locking the ankle. So you're pointing the toes down, really tensing up those ankle muscles to make the foot nice and rigid. If you hit the ball and you haven't tensed your ankles, it's going to be quite floppy and you're not going to hit the ball cleanly. You're going to get too much contact area on the ball, it's going to spin off, you're going to shank it. But if you have a nice solid foot, it's just going to repel off that ball really cleanly. So make sure you're flexing the foot, pointing the toes down, nice locked ankle. So when you strike that ball, your chest is coming over the ball to keep it down. You're striking, following through towards your target, shortening the follow through, coming off of that standing leg and back onto the kicking foot. The only time you won't be following through towards your target is if you're trying to create that outside spin movement. So sometimes if you're shooting at the far side, it's more difficult for the goalkeeper if you make it go outside the post and then wrap and then come onto the inside. So instead of following through towards your target, you're actually kind of slicing across the ball like this. This is going to create a bit of backspin, but also more of a diagonal spin. So it rises, but also has a bit of left to right movement as well. All right, guys, so those are all my tips on striking that perfect half volley. And the main point is just timing. So it's going to take a lot of practice to get in tune, marking out those steps and getting used to hitting the ball on the bounce. But make sure you practice this and you'll be hitting perfect half volleys in no time. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure you smash the like button, hit that subscribe button for weekly training videos, and I will see you guys in my next video.